Welcome, Catherine.
Thanks. I just came today to ask a question about, in light of the recent redundancies, where there was 45 people made redundant, where there was a backflip on that redundancy and jobs were offered back. Not all the jobs were the same job that these people had been made redundant from. I just wanted to know sort of what specific measures, if any, you have in place now to safeguard current staff from having their roles displaced by AI, and also offshoring. And also, can you please outline what guardrails you have or policies that have been introduced to support job security and transparency during this period of technological change?
Thank you, Catherine, and thank you for coming and asking your questions today. I acknowledge how difficult that process was. I'm going to get Matt to comment in detail at the moment, but an assessment that 45 roles were no longer required as a result of changes we made a mistake. We didn't adequately consider all the relevant business considerations, and I think that's been communicated. We've talked about AI today and the importance of understanding both the risks and opportunities on that, but more importantly, I think the point that you raise is that we have to be, and it's the same point that Mr. Kazim made, we have to be very thorough in the way that we support our people. We do have to make changes in the business from time to time. That is inevitable, but we have to do that respectfully. We can't afford to make mistakes, and we can't afford to impact our people. But if we do, we need to rectify that and provide the support as much as possible. But without talking to the specifics, we have addressed the learnings from those situations through both the People and Remuneration Committee and the Board, and we're engaging with management on those learnings to ensure that future processes are baked in such that the risk of that happening again is very much mitigated. But I'll just get Matt to comment perhaps in a bit more detail.
Sure, thank you. And again, I just want to acknowledge how difficult the situation is for you individually, and thank you for coming along today and asking the question. Perhaps by way of background for people who aren't as familiar, look, when we make any changes to technology and that has an impact on an individual's role, it's incumbent upon us, as it should be, to engage appropriately and determine whether any roles will be impacted. In this particular instance, and I think you were one of those 45, when we did that assessment, we incorrectly estimated the demand for those roles going forward. So we basically incorrectly calculated that those roles wouldn't be required, whereas indeed they were required, and so had to re-engage with the employees that we'd said their role was no longer required to say, well, actually it is. And of course, that's an unnecessarily challenging process, and I understand we've apologised to each of the employees impacted by that. I think sort of two other things. One, I think it is going to be important, and I would say we will continue to have to look at how we can better serve our customers. And in this particular instance, in terms of being able to support our customers in near real time with a lot of capability and automation, particularly in areas around disputes, scams and fraud, it's not that we won't, well, at times that will require difficult decisions that may have an impact on employees. I think the way we engage with employees, how we think about that over time, how we try to develop and retain as many of those skills as we can is really important, and that's certainly a priority for us going forward.
Thank you again for coming today and asking that question.